She got pregnant at 15 years while her parents worked night shifts, a true life story. The smell of bleach hung in the air like a ghost, lingering after Amma had mopped the kitchen tiles. The room sparkled under the overhead light, a quiet testament to her nightly ritual before leaving for work. She looked at the clock. 6:37 p.m. It was nearly time. Her husband, Kojo, emerged from the bedroom wearing his hospital scrubs, gently adjusting the badge clipped to his chest. "I packed your dinner too," he said, his voice tinged with fatigue. "It's in your black bag." Amma offered a tired smile. "Thank you." They both worked night shifts. Amma cleaned offices in the city, and Kojo worked as a certified nursing assistant at a long-term care home. 8 months since they'd left Ghana. 8 months of striving, saving, sacrificing. Their 2 daughters, Mame, 15, and Efua, 11, were the axis on which their lives now spun. I spoke to Mame. I reminded her not to open the door for anyone, Amma said as she pulled on her jacket. Kojo nodded. "And to sleep early. They've got school tomorrow." Outside, the Michigan winter painted frost across their old Toyota Corolla. They drove in silence, parting ways at the bus stop. Amma kissed her husband and stepped into the cold, unrelenting night. Neither knew that their daughter's world had already cracked open. Mame waited until their car had faded into the distance, the tail lights disappearing into the quiet street. She glanced at her younger sister. Efua was on the couch, curled up with her tablet, headphones in place. "Good." Mame pulled out her phone and typed quickly. "You can come now. They've left." She didn't have to wait long. A knock, then the sound of the front door opening, barely audible, yet unmistakable to her now-trained ears. He was the first, Jordan, the older boy from her school. 17, tall, with dyed dreads and a crooked smile that made her feel seen in a way she didn't understand. He kissed her quickly, urgently, and they tiptoed to her bedroom. The next night it was Kevin, and 2 nights after that, Malik. 3 boys, 3 secrets, 3 months. They each thought they were the only one. Mame had started changing. Efua noticed it first. Her sister, once bright and snappy, had grown distant. She snapped often. She showered more. She wore perfume to bed. She dozed off at the breakfast table. Amma noticed too. "Maybe she's just adjusting," she told Kojo when he mentioned it. "She's 15, Amma, but she acts like 25. We both work. She's helping out with Efua. That's not nothing." Kojo rubbed his face. "Still, I worry. This country is different. Things are fast here." They both nodded, heavy-hearted but trusting. Trusting too much. Then came the day Mame vomited. She barely made it to the sink, and the sound jolted Amma out of her afternoon nap. It was a Saturday. Kojo was asleep after a grueling 12-hour shift. "Mame!" Amma's voice was sharp with panic. "Are you okay?" Mame staggered to the sofa, pale and shaking. "It's probably the noodles," she muttered. Amma pressed the back of her hand to her daughter's forehead. "You're not hot." Then her eyes sharpened. "How long have you felt sick?" Mame hesitated. "A few weeks." "A few?" Amma's stomach dropped. "We're going to the clinic. Now." The clinic was cold. Mame sat on the exam table, her arms crossed tightly. When the doctor came back in with the results, she didn't look surprised. Amma knew even before the words came. She saw it in Mame's eyes, a flicker of shame, of fear. "She's pregnant," the doctor said gently. "Approximately 3 months along." Amma's vision blurred. Her knees buckled. No, she can't be." Mame's lip trembled. "I didn't mean for it to happen." "You're 15.
Amma screamed.
15. The nurse stepped in. "Ma'am, please. We can't have yelling in the clinic." Amma collapsed into the chair, sobbing. Her daughter, the pride of her life, had broken something too deep to mend. Kojo didn't speak for almost an hour after hearing the news. He just sat there, hands clasped tightly, eyes closed. Then he stood up and punched the kitchen cabinet so hard it cracked. "You were here, in our house, with our younger daughter sleeping in the next room." He growled at Mame. who sat on the edge of the couch like a condemned soul. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "You're sorry," Kojo shouted. "Who is the boy? Who is the father?" Silence. Ama's voice was quieter. "Tell us the truth." I don't know." It was like the floor had vanished under them. The days that followed were unbearable.
Ama cried constantly.
Kojo stopped eating. Efua, confused and afraid, withdrew into silence. The family's silence was heavier than shouting. Word got out in the Ghanaian community. Whispered phone calls, sideways looks at the African market. Church friends no longer waved back. Ama stopped going out except for work. Kojo worked double shifts just to stay away. Efua sat alone at the dinner table every night. Mame stayed in her room, but the belly was growing. One day, Kojo walked into Mame's room while she was asleep. He stood at the doorway, his heart splintering. She looked so small, just a child. His child. He sat on the edge of her bed. "Mame," she stirred. "Yes, Daddy? Do you want to keep the baby?" A long pause. "I don't know." Kojo wiped his face. "You don't know who the father is?" Mame looked away. I was seeing a few people. They didn't know about each other." Tears ran silently down Kojo's face. "Are you in love with any of them?"
No.
He got up slowly, the weight of sorrow dragging at his bones. "Then it was never love." The school called. The counselor suggested online classes. "Teen pregnancy cases often need discretion," they said gently. Ama nodded stiffly. Mame left school. She no longer laughed or looked in mirrors. Her phone lay untouched. One day, Efua asked if she could sleep in Ama's room. "It's too quiet," she said. Ama understood. Her once vibrant home now echoed with invisible wounds. Then the bleeding started. One night, Mame screamed from the bathroom. Ama ran in and saw the blood. Too much. The ambulance arrived in minutes. Mame was rushed to the ER. Ama and Kojo sat in the waiting room, clutching each other's hands like two people clinging to a sinking boat. Hours passed. The doctor came out, face grave. She lost the baby. Mame survived. But something in her died too. They brought her home, weak and hollow-eyed. That night, she whispered through tears, "I wish I had listened." Ama wept quietly beside her. "I wish we had been there." Kojo sat on the stairs, head in his hands, feeling the kind of failure no man can explain. They had left Ghana for a better life. But this wasn't it. Months passed. Mame returned to school online. Kojo switched to a day shift. Ama cut her hours to be home in the evenings. They tried to put their lives back together. But there were always cracks. Always memories. Efua became more serious. She stopped smiling as often. Sometimes she watched her sister with wide, uncertain eyes. Once she asked, "Will that happen to me too?" Ama knelt beside her. "Not if you talk to us. Not if we stay together." But trust once broken is hard to repair. One day, Mame stood in front of her mirror, touching the faded scar of the 4-needle on her arm. She hadn't touched a phone in weeks, hadn't spoken to any boy since. "I don't deserve forgiveness," she told her mother. Ama held her tight. "You are still my daughter." Mame asked, "Can we move back to Ghana?" Ama shook her head. "Running doesn't heal. Only facing it does." Kojo eventually opened up during one of their rare family dinners. He looked at Mame and said, "This isn't how I saw your future. I know, but we move on. Together. That's what families do."
Ama nodded.
"And we tell the truth. No more hiding." Mame, teary-eyed, whispered, "Okay." It wasn't a full healing, but it was a start. In the quiet of their small living room, the family sat together again, for the first time in nearly a year.
No phones. No shouting. No ghosts.
Just people trying. The American dream had cracked under their feet, but the rubble still had warmth, still had love, still had home. Now we ask you, viewers, what would you have done differently if you were Mame's parents? Is it fair to blame the child when parents were trying to survive? Can trust once shattered truly be rebuilt? And how much does the pressure of immigration affect parenting? Let us know in the comments, because sometimes the hardest stories are the ones we live. We post new videos every week at SoulThread by Chris. Stay connected to always watch our stories. Thanks for watching. You are blessed. You are loved. You are awesome.